you told someone a week before the drawing that you would win exactly £2.7 million.
And I won't be greedy, I'll win the lottery one week, 2.7 million will do me. And the following Saturday, on our 17th wedding anniversary, we won 2.7 million.
Did you know it was 2.7 million when you said that?
I went into his jewellers and I had $10 million worth of diamonds on me, on God's behind, just to show people that when Concorde was around, you could fly to New York and come back in a day. We are so grateful for our lives and what happened to us 30 years ago.
Welcome to Lottery Dreams and Fortune.
I am so excited to be joined here today with Elaine Thompson. She won an incredible prize in 1995, £2.7 million prize from the UK National Lottery. Her story is fantastic. Elaine, how are you doing today?
I'm brilliant, thank you.
Thank you so much for the time today. I really, really appreciate it. For those who may not be familiar with your story quite yet, can you take us back to 1995? Now, this was 30 years ago.
It was.
So what exactly did you win and how did it happen?
It started it was our 17th wedding anniversary, and my husband, his first love is football, Newcastle United. They were playing that day, and I sent him on a train down to London, bearing in mind it was our anniversary. And the last thing he said was, don't forget to put the lottery on and use the same shop we always use. So I sent him off, got in the car and thought, no, I'm not going to use the same shop. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I went somewhere else, bought the tickets and took them home and never thought about it until the draw came up that night. And when I got the numbers came up on the TV, when Daddy wasn't there, the children, it was their night. They could have pop, they could have soda, sweeties, whatever they wanted. It was their night when Daddy wasn't there. And we were curled up on the settee and the numbers came up and I said to the children, those numbers look familiar. And my daughter said, have we won £10 again, Mum? And I said, it might be a little bit more. And then the line matched my very first line, and that's when it all broke loose. I called my mother-in-law and she screamed and put the home phone down. I called my sister-in-law who said I've not won the lottery before, so I wouldn't know what to do. And then I called my other friend and said, I'm really busy, so I'll call you back. I had nobody to talk to. I didn't know what to do. And the neighbours came and sat me down and said, you've got to ring Camelot. At the time, it's now Alwyn, but we had to ring Camelot. And the phone was engaged and I thought, well, we might be back to a tenner now. But we eventually got through, and there's a winner's advisor that talks to you and talks you right through everything from day one onwards. We had a huge party as well, without Derek.
Oh my gosh. Well, that sounds incredible. What exactly were you feeling when you saw the numbers come up on the TV?
Thinking it could be 8 million because that's how much it was that night. And thinking, oh my goodness, our lives are about to change. And the very first thought was, where's Derek? I need to tell him. But he didn't find out until 4 o'clock the next morning when he came home off the gravy train. It was really hard to take in that night. Once Derek was there and once the winner's advisor turned up and kind of brought us back to normality, saying that you can either go public or you can stay quiet, we decided to go public. Half the street was in my house that night, so somebody was going to... At the time we won, newspapers would pay people to give the name of a winner. And I thought, well, one of the neighbours got some money. So that's why we went public. I just want everybody to know that it's really... We'd done something really good. We won the lottery and we were going to change a lot of lives.
Wow. And when you did go public, what was the reaction to your friends and family and to the general public? Because you mentioned that you had a presser, or you went and you had a party, and How did people react?
Most of them, I don't think we've had any negativity. Even Derek saying no, aren't you? No, in a way, I can't remember any negativity at all. Everybody was positive with us. It was very close to Christmas. It was on our anniversary, and we made sure our neighbours' children got gifts. And then we took the adults out for meals. But the main thing was we knew our children's. We had two young children. We knew that the future was secure. You know, it's one of those things that you look at your children and think you want to send them to university, you want them to have a really good education, have a really lovely house and have a fantastic life. But when they're that small and you're working hard to pay the mortgage and everything, and then this wind comes along, you know that the children are going to be fine. The single best thing I always say is, for that £1 that I paid for my lottery, is that my children can go through to university without owing a penny at the end of it and getting good jobs. That's the single best thing that lottery did for me.
That's, incredible. I imagine that, that is just incredible. And I want to ask a little bit more about this, but before I get to that, so you told someone I was reading this, a week before the drawing, that you would win exactly 2.7 million pounds.
My Derek worked at Motorola. He was on the very start of the mobile phones coming out. His company he worked for, there was only 6 of them then. But we were at a dinner dance and I was sat right next to Mr. Boring. I mean, come on, you've got to have a dinner dance. And I mean, you couldn't even, I just said to Derek, let's get the lottery tickets and check them. And this guy said to me, oh, you don't play the lottery? I says, yes, I do. I bet on horses. I go to the bingo. I'll do anything. And I won't be greedy. I'll win the lottery one week. I won't be greedy. 2.7 million will do me. And the following Saturday on our 17th wedding anniversary, we won 2.7 million.
I mean, first of all, that seems like it's meant to be. I don't know what you think about that, but it's serendipity. How do you, in retrospect, looking back now, how do you explain this type of thing? Do you believe that it was your intuition? Do you believe that it was your faith that it was going to happen, or manifestation, or just fate, or? It
was just a quip, you know. You just tried to put this guy to you know, that I was going to win, and it was just one of those figuring, you know, that you think, well, one day I'll win. Everybody says that. I had no idea I was going to win the following Saturday, and I had no idea it was going to be the amount I said. It's just one of those things that comes off your tongue, you know. Way back in 30 years ago, you never had hundreds of millions of pounds in the lottery. It was always around that area. So, I mean, there was no faith, there was no destiny, there was nothing like that. It was just a figure came to my head and I just said it.
Did you know it was 2.7 million when you said that?
No, I didn't. It was actually 8 million that night, and there was some other winners who didn't come forward as, I can't get the word out now. They didn't come forward, they stayed quiet. Yeah, but I got a share of 8 million.
Amazing. And for me, a long time ago, after you, 1999, so similar, I won a Powerball prize in the United States, and I've met and interviewed people from all over the world who've won prizes. And sometimes, like for myself and for some people I've met, we have said, you know, hey, I'm going to win the lottery tonight, or I'm going to win the lottery next week. And then when it happens in real life, after you say something like that, and that doesn't happen to everybody, but when it does, it becomes even more surreal. And like, oh my gosh, this really happened, and I said this. So was that how you felt when it actually happened after?
Even my husband, when he realised it's what I said the week before, he thought it's just unbelievable. I think it was just one of those things that it was meant to be. I've always been a very positive person. You see a lot of sadness in your life. I don't take anything badly. I'm always seeing the good side of everybody. until I find out for sure. So I'm kind of a positive all the time person, maybe too much, but I am.
Well, speaking of positivity, I mean, you have done some incredible things helping people with cancer, and also you're really into horses, I understand. So, what have you done exactly since the win? Because you also even went back to work, working
Yeah.
at 2 a.m., I was reading at one point for a while. So, what have you done since the win? Why did you continue to work? And
I gave up work for a little while to spend some time with the children and sort everything out. Obviously, we moved house. We waited a year before we did anything big, and we decided we always wanted to run a bed and breakfast when we were first married. But winning the lottery kind of increased that, so we bought a farm that had been converted into holiday cottages, which was a 2-star one, and we wanted to make that up to 5-star. So 8 months later, we bought it. 6 months after that, it was 5-star, and we ran that. And we found in the winter that we had empty cottages, obviously because it gets very cold, and some in empty cottages in the spring just before the Easter holidays. So I was invited into number 10 Downing Street, and they wanted, I mean, I walked through those gates without getting arrested. It was unbelievable walking into number 10. And they were trying to have donations for charitable places. I decided that rather than give them a lump sum, we would do our own. So we took children and families with cancer and gave them 3 weeks on the holiday cottages. And that was the profound thing for my children. I wanted them to learn that they've been lucky and everything is probably going to come to them, but some of these children aren't going to survive. So it was important that my children learned just because they're lucky doesn't mean to say that everybody is. And it was wonderful to see them playing together. And these children, some of them hadn't even seen a real horse or sheep. It was fascinating to actually see them. And the most of it was spending time with the parents, letting them just really relax. We banned all doctors, all nurses. It was pure fun while they were there, unless it was needed. And I think that was fantastic. But sadly, my brother, when we were there, we gave him £1 million when we won. He brought me up, so he sadly passed away, and there was too many memories. So we sold that and bought a restaurant in Lyme Regis in a very small town. And we took on 52 staff that we'd never ever done before. We ran that successfully as well. So yeah, we've done quite a lot. Now we're retired. But working, I love to work. I can't be in the house 10 hours, 12 hours a day. It drives me insane. And I mean, I'm nearly 70 now, so I had to retire. There has to be a time when you've got to stop. But I still miss work. And I worked for 50 years. So I'd go back if I could.
when you win a major lottery prize, for some people, it seems like you still need to have a purpose and something that drives you, because at the end of the day, did you have to do any introspective thinking about what makes you happy and what you should be doing when you don't necessarily have to be doing a job you don't want to? Or were you thinking about?
My philosophy is you go to bed with a smile, you get up with a smile. Whatever happens through the day happens. You can't change that. So I'm a very in-your-face, bouncy person. There are times when Derek will probably say that I'm not that bouncy sometimes, but you've got to be happy through your day, because being miserable is not going to get you anywhere, is it? I don't deal with too many miserable people. I just like it to be happy and fun. Derek's just whispered to me, it's nice to have a purpose in life. I've got him.
Yes, that is beautiful. Looking back 30 years later, what would you say is the biggest blessing of your win? Because this is a major, major win. I believe the lottery started not too far before, at least this particular lottery.
I think it was about week 50. I think we won in week 53. It's around that time. The major thing is my children have gone through university. They're all on the housing. They've all got houses. They're increasing them every time. They're happy. They've got children. I've got grandchildren. It's just a fact. We've just had an extraordinary life. The things that I have done are extraordinary. I mean, who would have thought a little girl from Wallsend, it's a very small place, walking through the doors of number 10, never in a million years I would have dreamed that I'd do that. I've been on Concorde with stars. I was in the front watching Mach when it hit the Mach 3. I've been in Donald Trump's apartments. I shouldn't really say it like that, should I? But yes, I have. I was invited to go, and I went into his jewellers, and I had $10 million worth of diamonds on me, armed guards behind, just to show people that when Concorde was around, you could fly to New York and come back in a day. The single things that I love the most are the charitable ones. I love going out. I mean, we did the Mistletoe Millionaires. We took some very sick children to Lapland and had 2 or 3 days there. That was profound for me. It was lovely. We've done quite a lot. And it's not just me and Derek that do it. There's hundreds of lottery winners that get involved in quite a lot of charitable days. We do gardening, we do painting, we turn up, we go into hospices, everything. And they're our favourite days. We do beach cleans, we walk along some fantastic beaches in the UK cleaning up. During that time we have fun, but it's helping all the time. It's not the things on the holidays that we can do and places we can go. Yeah, we can do that. We could have done that if we were working. The charitable days are to me the best thing we can do, and I love to be at them.
That is wonderful. And you mentioned with other lottery winners, that's something that's organized through Alwyn, or how?
Alwyn, yeah. It's we started off when it was Camelot. I've been everywhere, right across the country. Gardens, painting, digging, everywhere. And I've loved every single minute of it. And the beauty of it is you get to meet the lottery winners, the other lottery winners that have gone public. And there's a lot of friendships formed by that. And meeting them and doing this together, you get to talk about things that have happened in their lives. And we can say, oh, well, that happened to me, and this is what we did. And, it's fantastic that we can meet all of the other winners. And from 30 years ago, I know quite a few now. And the best thing is the charity days that we get to meet and just have coffee and do things.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And that is a lot of luck, a lot of lucky people in a similar place. That is amazing. What a blessing. It sounds like it's been very wonderful and such a blessing for you. What advice would you give to someone who is playing the lottery hoping to win? Do you have any hot tips?
No, it's winning the lottery is by chance, so you can't really predict. But if you do win, the decisions you make on the day are completely different 2 weeks down the line. So we always say, take at least a month before you make any decisions on what you're going to do, where you're going to go, whatever. So the thing is you can't really, well, I did predict, but you can't really predict. I'm kind of saying I'm a liar here, but you can't. It's a game of chance.
Do you think that the lottery changed who you are, or did it give you more room to be yourself? Because I've noticed with myself and many people that I've met that it sort of magnified personalities. But have you found that to be for yourself, or what is your thoughts?
It hasn't changed me at all. I'll not change for anybody. So no, like I wouldn't change for anything. It's probably sort of faced me up with the things that we've done. I mean, I've got a folder that's almost 70 pages full of everything that we've done. We've done the lottery all over the world. We've done the Italian lottery. We've done the Missouri lottery. We've done Norwegian. There's another one, isn't there? South Africa. So it's kind of gone on. And the Italian was a bit scary because when we left, they were all banging on the car as we left. And they said, whatever you do, don't open the windows because they're pretty fanatic, and they ran after the car quite a way. So yeah, it's the experiences that you get, and I've got multiple experiences. It's just been an incredible life.
Well, first of all, these different lotteries that you've been on, were you actually in the show when you say that you did these lotteries? Were you there in the show? Or
the two that we were at were the Missouri lottery, we were on that show, and on the Italian lottery, yes, we were on that show, and it's a 7-hour show. They draw one ball an hour, and it was all in Italian. We drew the very last one. They called us down, and the gentleman that was sat next to me, when he realised I was a lottery winner, nearly had a heart attack. He gave me a kiss, he cuddled me, wouldn't let me go. And then we went down and drew the last ball. And the week before, the star of the show was Madonna. The week after was me and Derek. So yes, some things are quite surreal.
that is very surreal, and that particular show, I was actually on it years ago and had the similar experience of going out in a limousine and people banging on the windows, and it seemed like it was almost like I don't know how it felt to you, but for me it felt like almost like it was an overnight celebrity or something from this sudden brush with luck.
When they sent us to a restaurant after that, and we went into this restaurant, and the owner come out and said, that menu is no good for you. This is your menu. And then I can't even remember leaving the place. But it was fantastic, and he wouldn't take any money. It was just brilliant. It was a fantastic, surreal experience.
Well, it sounds like this lottery win has been such a blessing. You've done so many wonderful things, and we are limited on time, but I do want to ask real quickly, you've been to every horse track race, I was reading this, in the country, or in UK at least, I believe.
49 courses. It was about 10,000 miles we've done. And it's fantastic. And we owned a horse. Well, we've owned a couple of horses. 3. One of them was nicknamed Sick Note, because every time we got him ready to race, we thought he was psychic, this horse. Because when he was getting ready to race, he'd go, and the trainer would say, sorry, you can't run. So we nicknamed him Sick Note. But we did once win a race, and we got a trophy for it, which was fantastic. We still go horse racing now. As soon as we get a chance, we go off and go.
You had a race named after you as well, or a trophy, or something. You had something that was very important named after you.
It was Ludlow. We were on the front page of the booklet where it gives you all of the races and all of the horses. We got to pick out the best turned out horse, which happened to be, which we didn't know, an actual local Ludlow girl. And we gave the prize to the winning jockey of our race. And then we got invited into the inner sanctum where nobody ever goes, and had some champagne with the owners. Best day ever. Have you been to England?
Not, well, just, no, through some airports, but not yet. I want to. I will. Yes.
I'm disappointed.
Yes.
If you come, let us know. We'll take you racing.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. And and listening to your story, I'm like a fly on the wall listening to you, all these stories. It's so incredible. It seems like the lottery has been such a blessing and all of these experiences. Is there anything else that you wanted to say about your experience today that I don't know enough to ask, or that you just want to say?
Well, first of all, thank Alwyn for doing this so that I could talk to you. Secondly, just thank the lottery for the experiences that Derek and I have done. I've done quite a lot. It's got to be 200-300 easy. We are so grateful for our lives and what happened to us 30 years ago. And this year it's our 30th anniversary and it's our 47th wedding anniversary on the same day. So we've been together 50 years, Derek and I, since he was 17. So yeah, we've had a remarkable life. We've been remarkably lucky.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Well, happy anniversary coming up. I mean, that's that's incredible. Well,
but thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time, Elaine. Your story is beautiful. It's so positive, and I love your mindset and what you have done as well over the years. So it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. No problem. I've loved it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
On the Friday, I told the girls that I was retiring and I wouldn't be in on the Monday because I was going to win the lottery tonight.
Before the drawing?
Yeah, that was on the Friday when I was at work, and I literally drove across the traffic lights, stopped at the shop. I didn't know the amount at all when I bought the ticket. I just said flippantly, you know, I have 5 lines on the lottery, lucky dips tonight. I was just about to go to bed on that night when the draw had happened. I said, so I'm just going to check my ticket. And I literally pulled the ticket out, checked it. It was the whole top line. So I didn't actually have to spend the whole amount. I only had to buy 1 line, the whole top one.